morning, everybody. Another day to work. Was a lot of Champions League games yesterday again. A lot of it's always the same number, but yeah, it's kind of me trying to remember everything that happened now from memory. Before we get into Champions League, yesterday I managed to watch a German TV documentary on the football leagues, Super League and all those kind of things, and it's kind of depressing, and I think I'm gonna spend some time talking about that probably on Friday, because I think it deserves a little bit more attention. Also yesterday I didn't get a blog post up, so I had the AC Milan short video was scheduled for Saturday. I have it now. Had it yesterday, so I hope I get a few blog posts in, but you know, the time that I have is if there's some downtime at work or at home, and yesterday there was neither, and I decided I'm rather watch and be around my wife, because we have not seen each other a lot because I've been working very long. But yeah, so it goes. But I hope you enjoyed that one, and yeah, I think that will roughly call us the schedule. I will have a top 10 for the weekend. It will most likely be the top 10 World Cup goal scorers, as I calculated them. Let's put it that way. Champions League. I got to watch a game yesterday. I actually wanted to watch CSKA against Roma, but just was not in the cards. But I managed to watch Benfica-Ajax, which anyway is to me, I said it 2 weeks ago when those two played. This is just such a wonderful, classically European Cup match-up between two all-time great teams in that competition. And the fact, just going now quickly to Super League, that you know you wouldn't see such a matchup in a Super League anymore is the thing that bugs me the most. I think I have not heard any positive feedback on the Super League, but yeah, we'll talk about that on Friday. Benfica-Ajax. It was more or less a do-or-die game for Benfica, and also in a way for Ajax, because that's the game where if anyone would win, it would have sealed the fate of Benfica if Ajax wins. If Benfica wins and even wins the tie against Ajax, then they actually would be in a not so bad position, because you know both teams have to play AEK, which they probably will win, and both teams have to play Bayern, which they probably will lose. Although I think Ajax at home against Bayern, I can imagine them doing something. On the other side, I also have to say Ajax has to go to AEK, and you know this is an away game where AEK for sure wants to at least get a point. So it's kind of even, and you know Ajax had the 4-point lead over Benfica, which is frankly a comfortable one. Yeah? So a loss would have cut it to 1 point, and then it's a little bit more shaky. And the way it played out, I mean, the game took a little while to get going. It was not a super intense matchup for me that it was in Amsterdam, where it really that was a super intense game. This one was a little bit looser, but not less intriguing, I gotta say. And yeah, Benfica, you know, Ajax always enjoyed more possession, but I always had the feeling that Benfica is just this tad more dangerous on the, especially on the, not necessarily counter, but especially on the counter attack, whereas Ajax in true Dutch style likes to control the pitch. And so it proved, and you know there were chances, half chances, and I think the only time that there was really excitement coming was right around the 27th minute, when the Ajax goalkeeper Onana had the ball, and Jason was close to him, too close, where you know if he plays it wrong, just a touch and the ball is in goal, he shot it wide to get a throw in, and then it happened. There was a wide throw-in that bounced once, and unfortunately Onana went off the line, and it reminded me a lot about last Wednesday when the Genoa goalkeeper came out and gave Milan a big chance to score, and it was the same thing here, that Jason just needed to tap it in. A little bit later was already injury, kind of nasty one where I don't remember the name now, but he was one of the better Benfica players. Got stuck in the grass, overstretched his ankle, and needed to be taken off. There were actually quite some injury breaks, I had the feeling, in that game, especially in the first half. Ajax came back because they knew, losing 1-0 might not be the worst result, because then it's down to goal difference, where Ajax at the moment is towering above Benfica, but it's still, you're only 1 point ahead, and then it's not as comfy. So Ajax needed to come back, and Ajax actually had a huge chance right before halftime, which was to be a common theme, where I think it was a free kick that the goalkeeper just bounced wide, and then Ajax had a free shot on goal. I mean, it was a kind of impossible angle, but there was the Ajax player standing right in front of the goal mouth, potentially offside. That's the one thing that they couldn't resolve in the replay, who could have tapped it in, but it went wide. I don't make any bones about it. I was for Ajax in that game, but if you ask me, I mean, I definitely do not dislike Benfica. But I want to see Ajax progress from that group, and given that Bayern is Bayern, it's only one or the other team that will progress, and yeah, we'll talk about that. So, second half, and now Ajax definitely took the game a little bit more to Benfica, and they got their equalizer by Tadic, which was, again, wide shot. A wide pass, and Tadic just with a flick got it in, and I think in the last replay you could see that actually the face of the Benfica defender tapped it across the goal line. Vital away goal for Ajax, because that meant even if they lose by a goal, you have won the tie against Benfica, which is one of the tiebreakers. But of course, having the point is even better. There's no doubt about it. If you keep, because then you keep the 4 points distance, which will prove to be the vital one. And from that moment on, I honestly have to say, you didn't see much from Benfica. It was really, Ajax had control of the game and was actually in position to make it 2 for them. That they didn't almost would have haunted them, because in the 4 minutes added time, where there was absolutely no danger from Benfica until the very, very, very last second, where there was a free kick, came in, bounced slightly off, and a free shot for the Benfica attacker, who could have put it into net. I'm very bad with names, because I basically watched the game on silent because I was chatting with my wife, but as well. But I got the essence of the game, let's put it that way. But yeah, that was the big chance for Benfica to make it 2-1 and give themselves a chance. I think this way, as it stands, Bayern won rather comfortably 2-0. I gotta say, when Bayern got the penalty, which, yeah, probably can give this penalty, but when Bayern got that penalty, at that point this was I had a little bit more of the game. Also was interesting, Bayern against Ajax, the same colors we will see on Saturday, I guess, when Bayern plays Dortmund at home, so kind of a little preview of how that might look like. And then Bayern, yeah, comfortably 2-0. Lewandowski scoring 2, and I think he overtook Ibrahimovic and Shevchenko. Shevchenko is a true Milan legend. Ibrahimovic, I still like to think of him as a Milan player, although he did much more damage for Inter. He might come back, and I'm not sure what to think about that one. But yeah, when time comes, I'll comment on that as well. So now we have Bayern since day one. They were level on points with Ajax before this game. Since Bayern won, they are now top of the group, more or less through. I think 10 with 10 points, 8 points, 4 points, 0 points. Yes, I think there's still a scenario where if Bayern loses the next 2 games to Benfica and Ajax, and Benfica wins their 2 games against Ajax and Bayern, then Benfica can still make it through thanks to the direct duel, but you know, Benfica has to play in Munich. A point will seal the deal for Bayern. And yeah, almost a similar story for Ajax. I think if Benfica loses, Ajax and Bayern are through. So it's almost that, it's that simple in that group. So Ajax looks good, Bayern looks good, Benfica will probably be in the Europa League, and yeah, given how Champions League drop-offs from the Europa League, I don't discount Benfica going forward. Then let's go. Let's go to the next group. So we have Group E. Let's go Group F. Where the game that was kind of hyped was Lyon against Hoffenheim, and I was briefly thinking, shall I watch that one, since they promised offensive football all around. And I gotta say, I mean, Lyon, it would be a slight draw for me, but Hoffenheim, it just doesn't sound right. And it was a weird game because the game was very even between the 2 sides. It's just that Lyon made the goals. It was 2-0, and then Hoffenheim even got a red card. Kind of stupid because, you know, it was a second yellow. That, you know, with a little bit more experience, you don't get that yellow card. And from that moment on, Lyon seemed to be in control, but Kramaric made it 1-2. And even the last minute, Hoffenheim gets the equalizer, which is the rarest of things, that 2 goals down, a man down, and you make it 2-2. So Hoffenheim gets another crazy draw against Lyon. So this was the first one was 3-3, now 2-2, meaning Lyon holds a tiebreaker between the 2 sides. If Hoffenheim would have lost that game, they would have been out of it. Manchester City wasted no time on Shakhtar Donetsk, winning 6-0, although you gotta say, and this is a big one now for me, the 2-0 was a penalty, and the penalty call was a no-call. Raheem Sterling was going on to goal and tripped himself, and it became a penalty. And I'm sorry, even Guardiola, you saw that he tripped himself. Tell Jesus to shoot the penalty wide, or do something about it, or tell the referee this was not a penalty. This to me is lack of fair play, honestly, especially against the opponent that you will beat anyway. I'm sorry, this was an absolute dick move in my opinion. When I saw the highlights this morning, it kind of pissed me off. Where is fair play? And you know, in light of what Manchester City is planning or has been getting away with, it's just a dick move. Yeah, and from then on, goal after goal after goal. I think Jesus scored another penalty here. 3. Silva made the opening goal, which was a nice ball after Mahrez. I think Mahrez made another one, and then Sterling made a pretty one. 6-0. So Manchester City now, it's actually a very weird standing. It's 9 for Manchester City, 6 for Lyon, 1 win and 3 draws, and the win against Manchester City. So that's what's helping Lyon at the moment. Hoffenheim has 3 points, and Shakhtar has 2 points. So it's gonna be an interesting group. Although I don't see anything but Manchester City progressing from that one. Probably Lyon will get the second spot. Another group that is more or less decided, but just not quite yet, is Group G, where Roma got a lucky win against CSKA. 2-1 1 win, got the lead early, right after halftime. Benfica, who actually played decently going forward, got the equalizer, and then Pellegrini gets the lucky punch into the net where no one wanted to actually take the shot. He just got the ball in front of his legs and could convert it, make it 2-1. Well, that win is vital for Roma. They have now 9 points, and Benfica has, I think, 4, which more or less we'll see Roma go through in that game. Real Madrid had the early scare. Pilsen hit the corner of the goal, but only the framing. And then Real Madrid was deadly. I think having 3 at the half of 4. It was 4-0 at halftime. And the 5th one, yeah, Benzema I think scored 2. What can you say? Real Madrid got the win. My phone stopped recording for some weird reason. So we'll talk about Real Madrid. So Real Madrid got their win, 5-0. Again, what can you say about that? I mean, Pilsen wanted to make a spectacle out of it, but probably this will now, sure, maybe calm the nerves at Real Madrid. I mean, scoring 5 goals, yes, it's an inferior opponent in a way, but still, you have not been in great form. Real Madrid now sits top of the group, Roma being second, both with 9 points. The next game will probably, I think if they both make a point, if it's a draw in Madrid, I would think that we'll see both of them through. Roma definitely has the tiebreaker of Benfica. The only thing is, yeah, Real Madrid might not get through yet. But yeah, a draw probably will seal the deal for either one of them. And whoever wins is through for sure, and then the other one needs to just get a point in the final game. So it seems that Roma are going through. And then we go to the last group. The early game was Valencia against the Young Boys. Went the way you would think. I mean, lax defending gave Valencia the early lead. I think it bounced off the goalpost. No one was standing there. 1-0. Actually, Baron got the equalizer, but just before halftime. 2-1, and from there was no turning back. I think a Baron player was sent off, and then it went 3-1, and they were lucky that it didn't become 4. So Valencia got the first win, and from what I could gather, this was the first win at home this season in all competitions. That's a remarkable stat, I would say. So Valencia now sits with 4 points, with a slim chance of progressing, but you know, it's not everything out of the question. And then in the big game between Juve and Manchester United, which I'm not sure if I would have preferred it over Benfica-Ajax, but yeah, this was the one that was blacked out for me, because I don't have Sky. It continued the trend from Old Trafford, where Juventus won 1-0. Juventus dominated Manchester United all across the board. Had chance after chance after chance after chance, didn't convert chance after chance after chance. I think they hit the post and the woodwork and so on. I mean, it was a complete domination of Manchester United. After a lob by Bonucci, Ronaldo volleys the ball in probably the best goal of the evening. And the problem is that Juventus did not capitalize on that. And then Mata gets, I think the 85th, really late, gets a free kick. Beautiful free kick. And the ball is in the net. And this came out of absolutely nowhere. And unbelievably, Manchester United makes a second one, where I think the Juve defense, just after a free kick from side, they just didn't know what to do. And I think it might have been even own goal, because Pogba, who was there, I think didn't touch the ball. Absolute horrible defending, and a lot loss of Juventus, that should not happen. If you dominate opponents so much, there's no way that you should lose the game. I mean, it will not hurt Juventus because they will get the necessary points. And they play Young Boys. Do they play Young Boys next? Or do they play Valencia? I think they play Valencia next at home. They will get the win against Valencia. I don't see it any other way. But an absolutely unnecessary loss. Completely against the run of play, and of course Mourinho enjoyed that, being in the stand. Give it to me, I enjoyed it, boomy, I beat you here, and I got the tiebreaker against you guys. That's the one thing that you will, yeah, you gotta give it to Manchester United. They are probably coming alive again. I didn't understand why Manchester United was playing in their dark kits, but I guess... I guess marketing strategy. I mean, those are two of the biggest teams that Adidas has, so probably they want to market their away kit similar to why Barcelona played in pink yesterday and not in the yellow kits, which also would have done against Inter. But yeah, that was actually a stunner. I still think it will probably mean that both teams will go through. Any hope that I think Valencia had is now gone. But I honestly have to say that for Juventus this is kind of a big downer to the hopes of progressing. It's a big downer. Not to the hopes of progressing, because I said they will make it through. Yeah. That was Champions League match day 4. Unfortunately, you know, we have one group that's really interesting. I think that the group G with Manchester City can be interesting, but I think by after match day 5 we will know who progresses. Most of the other groups are more or less decided in a way. I mean, nothing mathematically through yet, but you know who is in pole position in every group. Which is the one thing that, as of late, I don't like about the Champions League. That, you know, after 4 match days you pretty much know what's happening. That's why it can still happen in the format that I proposed, where, you know, you have the 2 match days have them home and away games every time, and then give only the points on the tie, so you would not give out points for 6 games, but only for 3 games, but on the home and away tie. I think you would avoid much more of that already decidedness. I have the feeling, and get a little bit more excitement in. But yeah, it's still a Champions League. I mean, they still play great soccer in there, and again, I will talk more about that probably on Friday, because tomorrow is Europa League. I really hope that we'll have the Champions League further, but you know, if the big players say we make more money outside of the Champions League, that's what they will get, because you know, these days, we know it, solidarity or helping one another, it's not what's happening in the world anymore. And yeah, it's sad to see. Let's put it that way. What can you do about it? Well, that was it for my Champions League roundout. Let me know what you thought about the games, which games you watched yesterday. Whether for the games that I told you about, you agree with my assessment or not. And yeah, I'm gonna keep you posted with more videos. I hope I'll get another jersey post for the Nations League, which is looming now, out for you to read. I know some of you would like to read, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.